With several allegations against a leading edtech company, the Education Ministry released an advisory for parents. It said some edtech companies are luring parents under the garb of offering free services. It asked them to avoid the automatic debit option for payment of subscription fees and also to read the terms and conditions carefully before making any move. The advisory added that success stories advertised by these edtech companies could be a trap to acquire users. During the recently concluded winter session of Parliament, Congress MP Karti Chidambaram talked about what he called predatory sales tactics of edtech companies.
Today, sir, if you wanted to start an educational institution, you need to get a plethora of permissions. Your curriculum has to be vetted. You have to have a staff of a certain caliber. You need to pay the staff certain salaries according to perhaps the UGC or according to whatever the government regulations are. But today, there are online educational companies which are worth billions of dollars. Some of them are worth even more than the entire educational budget of India. These companies offer courses online which are not vetted by anybody. Nobody knows the content of these courses. Nobody knows the quality of these courses. Nobody knows the caliber of these courses. Nobody knows what is the caliber of the tutors who are on these who are conducting these courses. These companies now are engaging in predatory marketing practices where they prey upon the aspirational poorer people who want to give their children a better education, who want to supplement their education which they are not getting in government schools. They force them to buy courses and they auto-debit their accounts.
This outrage against edtech companies is not recent. In fact, edtech firms such as Byju's have been pulled to consumer courts on several occasions by disgruntled parents who have alleged cheating by the company's sales agents. Last week, a consumer court in Pune ordered Byju's to pay Rs 50,000 as compensation after a customer had complained that she didn't receive the promised refund of course fees from the company. The customer also claimed that Byju's had got a Rs 1.1 lakh loan sanctioned in her name without her consent. We reached out to Byju's last week for their stance on these recent allegations, but didn't receive a response till the time of publishing this video. On consumer complaint forums and social media, several users have given a template of what the typical sales call for an edtech company looks like. If it is an in-person visit, the salesperson will belittle the child's intellect and urge the parents to take the edtech subscription to secure his future. Most salespersons also express apprehension about the child's education because of the condition of government schools. Parents, some from the lower strata of society, usually take loans to fund the cost of the course. While there is usually the clause for free cancellation during the 15 to 30 days of trial period, once that expires, there is usually a lock-in period that runs into years. Several families look to cancel their subscription if they feel that the quality of the course is subpar, but they cannot due to the lock-in. Families also face hurdles in getting the promised refund during the trial period and discover that their accounts are being debited for EMIs of loans that they didn't sign up for. Several such cases have reached consumer courts. Such sales tactics have gained prominence because the pricing of these courses, of around Rs 20,000 to 30,000 for say math for class 6th and over Rs 1 lakh for say math from classes 6 to 12, is often unaffordable for people from lower income groups. On the condition of anonymity, a startup investor told Business Standard that while most allegations about a toxic sales culture have come up against Byju's, it's in fact a standard playbook across all Indian edtech companies with offerings for the K-12 or school learning segment. This is because most of these companies share the same venture capital investors. These investors then ask their portfolio companies to follow the market leader to increase sales. The Indian edtech space has seen phenomenal growth since last year. While startups in this sector had raised over $500 million in funding in 2019, since last year, Indian edtech startups have raised over $4 billion. We also have 5 edtech unicorns now, as opposed to just one before the pandemic. However, there are justifiable concerns about the quality of these edtech courses and whether these new age startups have the best interests of their customers in mind. Experts have suggested that the Indian edtech sector is due for a regulatory intervention by the government. They have suggested a Netflix-like monthly subscription model with no minimum lock-in period. This would force edtech companies to come up with quality products for user retention. We spoke to Gauri Gupta, Director for EdTech at Central Square Foundation, to understand more about how the EdTech sector can be regulated without stifling innovation in the space.
Pre-pandemic, we had over 5,000 EdTech solutions in the country. Post-pandemic, this number is likely to be much higher. These solutions support parents and schools with a wide range of offering from assessments to self-learning, tech for teachers, administration, coding, skilling, so on and so forth. We see innovation afoot in India that is very exciting. Today, there are as many believers as there are skeptics about the use of technology in education. Such polarized views stem from information asymmetry and a common understanding of what good looks like in EdTech. If we can create awareness amongst the consumers of EdTech, and I refer to both retail and institutional, around quality, EdTech companies will be forced to create products that deliver quality learning outcomes.
Even the staunchest critics of Indian edtech would admit that the sector has tremendous potential in a country with a largely poor quality of education in its schools and universities. The government's advisory may lead to some soul searching in the sector. Perhaps edtech companies will now temper their growth ambitions to prioritize customer concerns above everything else.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.